busting when no one knows my name, when no one knows my name, when no one knows my name. Yeah. Boston, but no one knows my name.
Thinking about what you said about seeing and not seeing. I had a painting teacher once tell me that the difference between a good painting and a great painting is typically 5 strokes. And they are usually the 5 boldest strokes in the painting. The question, of course, is which 5 strokes?
I get it. After one slaved away at making a pretty good painting, the last thing you'd want to do is make a bold stroke and potentially
Ruin everything. That's why I gave up painting. Still, I wonder if that is how I'm living my life.
Hey, babe?
It's a pretty good life. Probably the best life one could hope for in Squamish.
Hello, and welcome to Troll's End. I am your wandering narrator, Ira Klotz. So the audio that I clipped that I just showed you is from a movie on Netflix that I adore. It's called The Half of It. And it's kind of a modern retelling of Cyrano de Bergerac. I don't know if she meant it that way, but I definitely saw the parallels between the two, which was fun. But it's kind of the general plot is kind of in high school, but the dumb boy who's not eloquent with words falls in love with beauty and wants to kind of woo her, but he's no good with words, so he can't do that. So he hires an outcast who is poetic and good with words to write love letters for him on his behalf. And spoiler, the outcast also loves the beauty. That's just kind of the general thing. There are like a lot of good moments in there that are very unique, like the clip that I just showed you of the beauty I can't remember her name right now, but she had a painting teacher who talked about the difference between a good painting and a great painting. And when she talked about, like, you know, she's got a good life but not a great life, it just kind of hit me, because I too have an okay life. But I feel like it could be more, and it should be more, and I need it to be more. I want a great life. And so instead of doing New Year's resolutions this year, I've kind of taken up some new philosophies in my life instead. And one being this one of, this year I am going to add 5 bold strokes to my life and hopefully give myself a great year instead of just another drudgery year that makes me feel like nothing has happened. And I'm kind of just stuck in the same rut that I've been in for like 3-4 years. And hopefully then my hope is that'll snowball into a great life. I was definitely struggling with choosing what those bold strokes would be, because I mean that's kind of, I think what makes bold strokes bold is that they are scary. Because I mean not just financially, because I'm just doing like part-time retail work right now, and so I don't really have a lot of money, and a lot of bold strokes, especially the bold strokes that I would want to do, are a fuck ton of money. And it's just the fear that it's going to make me go bankrupt and I'm going to have to move back in with my parents again. I mean, nice to know I have that safety net, but it'd be not preferable. But also just losing the stability and peace that I have in my life, because that has been very hard won and fought for. Because especially 2020 to 2023, I had a series of bad friendship breakups and one relational breakup too that kind of left me in the mud for a good long whiles. And I am getting out of the mud. I'll do a whole other video about the artist's way and how that helped me, but yeah, I'm starting to actually get out of the mud now. But I still just kind of feel my year is the same every year, you know, same drudgery. I don't feel like I've gotten much done, but that was a tangent. I forgot where I was. And so after the relationship breakup this year kind of thing, like the peace especially has been very hard worked for. You know, I've gotten to a place where I can have peace by myself and be okay. And in this economy too, and in this world, you know, peace and stability is like such a needed thing for survival, I think, for a lot of us. And so having that be at risk is a little scary, especially with bold strokes. But like in the movie too, like you have to trust yourself. You got to that good painting, and so you have to trust that you can get back to that good painting again if something gets ruined. But more so, another big philosophy thing that I found that I think has been taken on this year and has helped a lot in making decisions about what bold strokes to make. I saw a video on Instagram by Jamila Jamil in an interview, and she was talking about making decisions in the face of important decisions. And how she goes about it is she thinks about herself when she's 80 or 90 and like on her deathbed, and like all she has left are the memories of looking back at her life, and do those memories make her happy or not? And I liked that a lot, of like, live your life for your 80, 90-year-old self. Would this decision make them happy? Would they be happy you took that risk, or would they be happy that you walked away from something? And so that's what I've kind of started to take on, was thinking about my future self and living life for her, of like, even though it's scary and it doesn't make sense, would she be happy that I did this? And that takes me to my first bold stroke of the year. Boy. And that brings me to my first bold stroke. This little baby. So I finally got a dog. Her name is Muriel. We don't look very well. Yeah, and so this is a dog has been something that I've wanted for about 15 years now. And so that was, I feel like, kind of a no-brainer of what to make as my first bold stroke. But that being said, I am glad I waited those 15 years to get a dog, because looking back at my life so far, it has not been very dog friendly or open. Because my first move out of my parents' house was to North Carolina, and that roommate situation was not great. And then I moved to New York, and that was a year of not having a job, for money for a dog. And then we already had 3 people and 3 pets in a New York apartment. And then I had to move back in with my parents, so I had to go by their rules after there. And then I moved into a house with some acquaintances who were, again, not a good roommate situation, but also a big one as well, is that they were hookah smokers and would smoke from like 10 in the morning to 2 in the morning. At least somebody was. There was about 3 of them that smoked hookah. And that just was, not good for my lung health, let alone a dog's lung health. And she wouldn't, I was pretty much hiding in my room that whole time. I was not downstairs at all, and that would not have been good for her. And then I moved into an apartment by myself, but that was paycheck to paycheck. I had probably about $20 left a month. And so I just didn't physically have the money for a dog. But I'm glad I was finally able to get someone this year. Because I love her. She's so cute. And there's been a lot that she's brought into my life, honestly. The biggest one being just fun and laughter. And joy again, too. I think I've laughed more, not necessarily full belly laughs, but I've laughed more in the last 3 months of having her than I have probably in like 3 years or so. Which has been really nice, because she's just a little silly goose. Not really little, but she's just a silly goose. She's just a silly goose. Yes, you are. She's been getting me outside more. We do 2 hours of walking with her every day, because as you can see, she's part border collie, so she needs it, being locked up in a kennel most of her day still. But it's been really nice, because like I found we're running. My knees have gotten used to the extra walking, so I'm running now a little bit, and I'm actually finding some like fun in running with her. Like it's like running with a child. Like you can't not smile when you run with her. And like putting Tina Turner's Rolling in the River on is the best thing to run to, I think. But more importantly, it's brought a healing to my heart. Because those 3 years, like I had developed like such a distrust for giving my heart to people kind of thing, because I'm just scared of doing the wrong thing and them abandoning me again. And so like with her, like I can actually trust her with my heart, and like my full heart, my full affection as fast as possible. I can tell her I love her within 2 weeks, and it's healthy and it's fine, and nobody's gonna get scared. And in fact, it's probably good with a dog. And I don't have to be perfect to be accepted. Like, you know, there's been a few times that like I've accidentally like kicked her in the jaw trying to like walk over her, or you know, on our walks, she crosses in front of me and I'll step on her paw by accident. And it's okay, nobody's mad, nobody's hurt too much. She still loves me, you know, not being perfect. And then too, as you can tell, she shows affection like I show affection, which is like constant all the time, loving, hugging. And in my past, a lot of people have found that too much, which has hurt. It's felt a lot like rejection then. But with her, I get to be loved the way I want to be loved. I get to love the way that I want to love. And it works out perfectly, because apparently I show affection like a dog. And yeah, and I get to be loved now the way that I want to be loved. I said that. We are still kind of in an adjustment period, or at least I am. I think she's fully settled, but yeah, by getting her, I've lost 2 hours of extra time because of our walking. And not to mention like all the pets and the loving. I have to rework my daily schedule to bring back daily creativity in there. I still am getting like good working on my novel. I am bringing music back into it, I think weekly again, but I am still kind of figuring out, puzzle piecing together daily creativity again after working 7 hours and then walking 2 hours with her, and then just regular living like cooking and stuff. And then also like going out for friends is a big adjustment right now. Not that I have a lot, I'm still kind of rebuilding my community and my friend group at the moment, but it is different now too with the few friends that I have, that going out with them, I always have to consider her first, make sure she gets to stay on her pee schedule and her eating schedule. Is she okay? How long am I going to be gone, and is she going to be okay in her kennel while I'm gone? Because she's a big chewer, and I don't really trust her to be loose in the room or my apartment alone at the moment. So she's unfortunately has to go back in her kennel when I'm not there. Or can I bring her with? Because we've taken her to the pub a couple times, which has been really fun. It's like the outdoor space, and she's loved that. We brought her bondage for her to chew on, and she gets to say hi. So it's just kind of an adjustment period right now. I'm sure I'll be able to bring back daily creativity again, but it'll take a few experimenting and experiment fails to, I think, figure out that schedule again. But anyway, this is my first bold stroke, and I'm very happy with her. So I think this is a good, I think this is a good philosophy to try, five bold strokes to make my year great and make my life great and make me bold again, I think, because I've really gone into my shell after those 3 years. And I wasn't usually a not bold person, but I would describe that I need to get that back. So this is my journey of my 5 bold strokes to make a great painting. Tune back in for the other 4 strokes. Bye.